So hello, how are you all? Might be fine in a good health, all of you. Now let's continue our lesson. We have already gone through the Constitution of India, its future, preamble, how it works, what is there in Constitution. Now again a part of Constitution we are going to have in our ninth chapter, and that is fundamental rights, fundamental duties and directive principles of state policy. What are the directive principles of the state policies? So we have gone through law now. It is in your Ekam Kasuri, you have to be with this. Try to read the lesson. If you have any doubt, just you can suggest it. Let's go through page number 65, chapter 9. Let's start it starting with introduction. In the previous chapter, we have studied Indian Constitution, preamble and important pillars as well as the specifics, characteristics. In this chapter, we will study about important characteristics of Constitution, that is fundamental rights, fundamental duties and directive principles of state policy. Before that, I would like to say that we have to maintain our fundamental rights, we have to maintain our fundamental duties, we have to maintain our moral values. So let's go further. Human rights. We all are human and we all have rights. Which rights are there that we have to maintain, and that are, let's go. Human rights. Those rights which not only give a person his or her basic existence. Here it is written existence, means you are there, your existence is there. But what it is, but also overall development in which society help to construct an environment which enables him or her to grow. We have some rights. We are not like the Adivasis that are in the hilly areas or living without wearing their clothes. They have their own rights, but it's them, up to them. They do not maintain our Indian constitution. Yeah, many such tribes are there living in India. Yeah, out of India, in African countries, there are many tribes. Those are having their own rights. But we, as an Indian, we maintain fundamental rights, fundamental duties. We have our own rights, and that rights have to be maintained. In every democratic country, the citizens are conferred with basic rights. A person is not discriminated on the basis of caste, can experience the basic rights. The protection of these rights are assured by society and nation as well. The person by his birth own rights which are his or her rights, which are known as human rights. Means after when we take birth, we are having our own rights. At the birth itself, we are citizen of India. At the birth itself, we have to maintain some rules and regulations of the society, not a particular religion. We are free. We are free to maintain any religion, but some socialistic rights we are having, some fundamental rights we are having, that we have to maintain. So that are our human rights. We cannot bite each other like dogs. We can bite each other like dogs. No, that's not right, given by the Constitution. To live peacefully, to maintain some rules and regulations, these all are rights that we are going to study further. Let's go. United Nations General Assembly has declared human rights on 20th of December 1948, and 20th December is celebrated as Human Rights Day. Please underline this line. It can be in your MCQ, in your fill in the blanks, yeah, short answer. Yeah, it will work in your future. From the global announcement of human rights, certain basic and important human rights are added in the Constitution of India, and thereby these rights are protected in a dignified way. Thus, those human rights which are included by Constitution of India are known as fundamental rights. Please indicate this definition, underline this definition. Which are fundamental rights? The rights given that are marked in the constitutions are fundamental rights. These human rights proclaim the human being to live in a dignified way for the existence of human being. The basic need, food, clothes, sanitary, education and health should be received in a dignified and a respectable way. Democratic country allows its citizens to enjoy equal rights for multifaceted development. The state guarantees such a conducive environment wherein one has protection of fundamental rights, true identity of democratic system. In a democratic system like India, we have democracy. In a democratic system, it's the government. The government has the right to maintain our food, shelter, clothes, education and health. They have, and these rights we have to maintain as it is in our constitution. It's the part of government. The government should ensure. So we are having government hospitals. So we are having rations from the ration wala dukan, we can say, by the card which we are having, rationing card. Recently due to COVID-19, Narendra Modi declared that you will get this much of rations regarding your card, your family members. So it's a what we can say, they have to do this because we are in a democratic country and we have to maintain constitutions and its laws. Now what are fundamental rights? Let me go through in depth. The nation's stability, protection of citizens, freedom and democracy are protected through fundamental rights. Most important line, the nation's stability. We need stability. Stability, you know, stabilizer is there regarding if you are in your house connected with freeze, any other high power machine, gadgets regarding this, stabilizer is there. Why stabilizer? To maintain the electricity in a particular level. So here the government stabilizes us. In protection of citizens, freedom and democracy are protected through fundamental rights. Through fundamental rights, government protects us. Now what are they? Right to equality. Number one is right to equality. Equality before law and equal protection of law are included in right to equality. Again I would like to repeat, equality before law and equal protection of law means what? The laws are maintaining in an equal way or no. No distinction, no distributions regarding any caste, any creed, etc. The fundamental rights is the major foundation of all other rights and privileges guaranteed to Indian citizens. Most superbly, the fundamental right is a major foundation. They are the foundation, they are the pillars of all rights and privileges guaranteed to the Indian citizen. What are the privileges that are guaranteed? Means what are the rights they have to maintain? Government, the constitution given some particular types of rights that are maintaining or no. It is one of the chief guarantee of the Constitution of India. Thus, it is imperative that every citizen of India has easy access to the courts to exercise his or her right to equality. Means if any disturbance is there, if any discrimination is there. Discrimination I will not say in Gujarati because it takes problem regarding some parents. So I would like to say that if any discrimination is there, then for right to equality, we go for justice. Courts are there. If the right to equality is not maintained, then according to this right, no person shall be shown favoritism on the basis of color, caste, creed, language, etc. That no person is favorite. He is good to me. He is good to him. Nothing is there. Each and everybody are equal according to caste, creed, race, color, etc. He is black in color. Yes, he is black in color. Then no discrimination is there. According to language also, according to the caste, according to the creed, etc. Law is equal to all. That is, for the peon to the prime minister, if they act against law, they are treated especially, they are equally and are bound to the general of law. However, the president and governors have certain privilege. So, if Narendra Modi is there, yeah, a peon is there, yeah, a small worker is there, right to equality stands within equalism. Understand it? All are equal. Yes, for some governors and for president, there some rights are privileged. That the president cannot walk thoroughly throughout the road. He cannot meet the people because he has to be in his level, like that of governor, that he cannot move here and there around. Yes, a Supreme Court judge can move here and there around. He can go to people, but a governor, yeah, a president, means some privileges are there, some optionals are there. Then, in each and every circumstance, the law should be prevail equally. There should be no discrimination or specific favoritism shown to any particular person or class. Every law should be equally disseminated. Every person shall have equal admittance to public places like shop, restaurant, hotel, public entertainment places have equal access to road and lakes and use of public wells and bathing gardens. So each and every person is equal. Not a high qualified person, he can also drink water from anywhere. A poor, a laborer, a beggar also can drink water from anywhere. He can go in a restaurant, she can go in the to the restaurant. A millionaire can go, a billionaire can go, a particular caste president can go, each and every person can go, even the beggar also, even the sweeper also, even the peon also, yeah, the smallest man also can go to each and every public places, yeah, he or she can use it. However, the state has a right to make any special arrangement for women and children or for the development in any socially or educationally backward class or scheduled castes or scheduled tribes. No citizen shall be discriminated on the basis of race, caste, religion, creed, descent or place of birth in respect of any government services and higher education under the state. In matter of state public services, equal opportunity have to be offered to all citizens. However, the state is given permission to make decisions regarding required qualification for the said services. For example, if any high caste boy or girl is there, any low caste boy or girl is there, he and she both can get the particular government job. And this responsibility are given to the government of the state for a particular services according to the qualification. Anybody can become collector of collector of Palanpur if he consists the highest degree. Either he might be a sweeper, either his family might be coming from a sweeper family, coming from a big high level caste, and so there is no discrimination for this. This is the right to equality, the first fundamental right. As a guarantee to social justice and personal dignity, untouchability is abolished and it practices any form is prohibited and punishable offense. So earlier and now also it works somewhere. About 50% more in our society, untouchability. That he is from lower caste, she is from lower caste, she might not touch us because we are from upper higher caste, higher society. So this discrimination, untouchability is practicing, but government has made many laws regarding this, and if any person found culprit, then he or she is punished. Titles and epithets which are create artificial discrimination in the society have been removed. Titles and epithets. Some titles are there. Titles means a particular caste, for his belonging to particular caste. His particular Nawab, his Zamindar, for example, I am giving. So these all discriminations were artificial and they had been demolished by the government, and we remove the adjective felicitates special contributes and achievements of individuals in various fields, gives special awards like Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri, Padma Veer Chakra is awarded in military services. Adjective like general, major, chief marshal, field marshals are added before name in military services, which is not considered as a violation of right to equality. The aim of right is to form an equitable society and thereby establish rules and law in India. To provide specific service to different types of groups or classes, there can be different types of provisions under law. Of example, there are law of advocate for advocate, doctors, teachers, insurance agency, women's, juveniles. The principle of equal pay for equal work is also part of this article. So certain articles are mentioning this, and certain adjective that we add to what we add. You forgot, I think so. To noun and pronoun is adjective something. Yes. To noun and pronoun we add something, and that is adjective. And further it was there, he is the Patel of the town, he is the Jamindar, he is a Nawab, he is a king. Like this adjective was given, but they have been abolished. But now there is some post are there. Governor General is there, Sergeant is there, that works in military, and this also. Apart from there are some amendments done in the constitution, some laws, some rules, some regulations, some articles are there. Right to equality, equal work, equal pay also is a part of this thing. Now the another thing, right to freedom. The Constitution of India provides a citizen of law 6 types of freedoms, which are as under freedom of speech and expression. We can speech, even recently government, Supreme Court of India has given that you can upload anything that you like on Facebook, Instagram, etc., social media. Further, it was said that we cannot upload anything regarding something this or that. But Supreme Court itself has given recently, within few days, a decision that you can upload. That doesn't mean that you can upload whatever you like that is not benefit to the society. So there is freedom of speech and expression, to assemble peacefully without arms, to form association or unions, to move freely throughout the territory to India, to reside and to settle in any part of the territory of India, to practice any profession, to carry any occupation, trade or businesses. Right to freedom, freedom in speech, freedom in expression of thought. We can say before Britishers came into India, this thing was not possible. After the expansion of newspaper and this freedom of speech, you can express your feelings, you can express your sentiments, you can express your thoughts, but in a particular way. Second one is to assemble peacefully without arms. You cannot take arms and use arms unofficially, but to maintain peace. Number third is to form association or union. You can form your own association, your group, your union. To move freely throughout the territory to India. You can move freely towards India, anywhere in India. You don't need a passport to travel from one state to other, from Gujarat to Karnataka, Gujarat to Kerala, any else. To reside and settle in any part of territory of India. To practice any profession, to carry on any occupation, trade or business. You got right. It's your fundamental right. You can move anywhere. You can practice your any business anywhere in India. These rights are of the utmost importance for all overall development of personally and expression of Indian citizen, for harmonious working of democracy and a heartly lifestyle. Any individual cannot exercise this freedom autonomously or irresponsibly. The state can control and limit this right to freedom if they go against the welfare, peace and security of the society. This has been clearly mentioned in the Constitution. It has been stated in the Constitution how the rights are exercised. Means in a particular extent, in some extent, You cannot go to Karnataka and say this is my land. So you are not maintaining your fundamental. Yes, you can buy a land in Karnataka, you can have a coffee shop over there, yeah, a parlor, yeah, whatever business you want. You can buy land, but you cannot go there. You will go to Andaman and Nicobar and you will say this is my land. I am the boss. It won't. So some limitations are there, but these limitations are there according to the constitution, and these limitations are maintained by the state government. Indian citizens have given the freedom of speech and expression. This can be expressed either orally, verbally or through gesture, but does not provide for exercising the rights in unlimited and unrestrained manner. Certain necessary and control and limitation have been stated in Constitution. The state can put required control through law and order for maintaining the unity and integrity of India, safety of the state, for amicable relation with foreign nations, public management and public peace, compromise and safe morality, discipline, contentment of court, defamation and provoking violence for crime. It is the authority of the judiciary, wherever these limitations are appropriate or inappropriate. The purpose behind the freedom of press, through which ideas and opinion put for the people welfare, has not been separately mentioned. It can be included in the right to expression. So, here it is given right to expression. That doesn't mean that we can come out of our house, yeah, go on the road, yeah, in the market, yeah, in garden and speak loudly bad words to anybody else. It doesn't mean that we take out our clothes and run away here and there, like foreign countries, as you might have seen in many matches, football matches and cricket matches. So some limitations are there. To express your thought, to express verbally, orally, or in written forms, there are certain types of limitations. You cannot maintain a poster over naked over there on your nearby of your any part of it. That means some restrictions are there, and that we have to maintain. Each and everything has some restriction, and that has been derived in the Constitution, and it has been derived. Constitution maintain the chief the justice and laws of the people. The courts are there. You cannot kill anybody here and there. You cannot contempt of court. You cannot go against any people. You cannot say bad words, as I told earlier. So right to expression is there, but in a certain extent. In a newspaper also, the newspaper editor cannot go to a particular caste, cannot go to a particular community. To maintain each and every, because we all are equal. We are from different religion, different caste, different creed, different color. So to maintain the democracy, yeah, the democratic way, right to freedom is there, especially it's there, but it has certain types of limitations. The latest amendment of 2009, the Constitution of India, confers free and compulsory primary education for the children between 6 to 14. Underline this thing. If a person is not convinced for a crime, then he cannot be sentenced to punishment or more punishment than the one prescribed by the law. Cannot be given the punishment more than once. Cannot be given to the same convicted person. No individual can be deprived of this life and liberty except that the procedure of law. No one can be arrested without being told the ground for such arrested. If arrested, the person has a right to define herself by lawyer of his or her choice. An arrested person has to be brought before the nearest magistrate within 24 hours. Without the permission, no individual can be kept in custody. As per the Prohibition Act, the person under arrest will not be applicable to the aforesaid matter. Means anybody, police come here to your home and come, you have done it, you are culprit, yet you have done a murder. Directly police cannot come and arrest you. Police cannot slap you without the permission of the magistrate. Police cannot beat you without the permission of the magistrate. If you are doing such a particular type of mistakes here, offense here you are doing, then and then only police has the right to kick you, to beat you, to scold you. No policeman has the right to speak a bad word. to any citizen of India without he did any bad thing regarding to the. They have to seek the permission of the magistrate. They have to, and for one punishment, if you are a culprit, you get a punishment. You cannot get another punishment for the same culprit. You are the same, whatever you have done. So some rules and regulations are there regarding this whole thing. Besides, as per the Prohibition Act, the person under arrest will not be applicable to the aforesaid matter. Means he has a right to maintain law, to take his own work. Vakil we say barrister, yeah. Here the word is lawyer. It's up to you. You cannot go. Yeah, any person, yeah, any police person cannot arrest directly, yeah, indirectly without having it. He must have summons within him. So these all rules and regulations are maintained. Now, preventing detention. If the state anticipates any criminal deed or activity for any person, then as a precautionary measure, that person can be detained by the state under a Preventive Detention Act. The purpose of this act is not to punish a convict, but to stop him for doing any criminal activity against state, society or any individual. Under this act, a person can be detained more than 3 months. The detention or order can be cancelled based on the opinion of judges of Supreme Court or members of the advisory board. The state can decide the term of detention. So if any person is doing false deed against the government, against the state, so state has the right, yeah, state government has the right to detention of him. That you are not member of Gujarat for 3 months. Yeah, you cannot come in Palanpur for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. So if he does any wrong deeds towards the state, then it can be done. For example, a person who is going through, who is throwing something towards the state, to state buildings, then he is to be punished. So till here, right to freedom we have done. This will be continued in the next session. Thank you.